Hello, I'm Vicky Fraser from Business for Superheroes, and today I'm talking to my superhero, John Holcroft. Hi, John. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, Vicky. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Okay. So, before we start, I just want to say John is full of so many good ideas for my superheroes group and for everything else. But before we talk about that, let's find out what you do, John. Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is John Holcroft, and I don't know what I do. And it's killing me, which is why you were wondering why I appeared to be apprehensive, and I was apprehensive because I knew you were going to ask me that question, and I knew I didn't know the answer to it. I could tell you a number of things. I could pretend I know.
Okay.
I could choose a number of things, but it's a mess, which is interesting.
Okay. Sorry, go on.
Well, it's interesting in a number of ways, right? Because it is messing up my life, which is because what could I be? Right? You could say I'm an app developer, which was because I was a software developer for many years in the corporate world. And then I left the corporate world to actually started doing my own music education app. And then I moved on and did other things, things for clinical training for hospitals and things like that. And then I have other ideas about, helping people with training and education and accountability and motivation and productivity. But right now, I've been struggling recently with actually just having the energy to do anything really. And it's why I was actually almost put on not doing this interview. I thought I'm not clear, right? And why is everything so hard? The reason it's so hard is because I don't actually have clear, defined purpose. I am of the things I could be doing. I've not chosen one and gone, that's it, and I will do it. But the reason why I'm doing this interview, despite this shambles of, I can't tell you I'm not going to get any customers from come and pay me for something. What do you want? That's not going to happen. But one of the things that really annoys me, or two things, I run towards things that scare me. If I get this kind of emotional fear, tells me, do it. Just, right, you're scared of that thing, do it. That's obviously the thing you should do. Yeah. And the other thing is, I really with a passion, hate the professional facade that I hate it in the office, because what everyone pretends to be perfect all the time and everything's amazing. And we also meant to be doing social media, always showing the best parts of their lives and stuff. And the point is, we're all amazing in some ways and complete shambles in other ways. And I don't want to hide that I have both parts of myself. I am amazing at some stuff, and I'm awful at other things. There are things I really struggle with. And my personal energy and focus on some things is one of the things I struggle with.
Okay. So you are 100% right about that, and that's partly why I'm doing these interviews, because I want other business owners to see that actually it's not all like sunshine and rainbows and stuff. And sometimes, and for God's sake, I spent so many years not really knowing what I wanted to focus on, and it's only really recently that I've decided what I want to do. So I totally empathize with that. Okay, so here's my question then: what scares the shit out of you?
Ooh.
At the moment, not like spiders and stuff.
Yes, I'm scared of myself. What's my true fear is not reaching my potential. That I could be doing great things and I'm not doing them, and it's me that's holding myself back. That's what scares me. As I said, most other things that scare me, that's just a red rag. I'll tell you a story about that because it's quite interesting. Years ago, when I was still in the corporate world, I discovered that comedy was a thing that you could learn to do, that it was a learned skill. I thought people were funny and they got on TV and did stuff. Then I realized I thought it's a learned skill. It's a thing. You write jokes and there's a process and things that you do. So once I learned it's a learned skill, I thought, I want to learn that skill just as a thing. So I found a stand-up comedy course. And part of that says that at the end we're going to be doing a live show in front of 200 people. Right. And so I filled in the form, name, address, credit card details, and then there was the click button where you pay.
Mhm.
And there was a pause. I clicked pay, and at that point my stomach went. I had to realise what I had to do in a few months' time.
And did you do it?
I did it, yeah.
And
Well,
how did, tell us about that.
Oh, well, I'll tell you about the course, and I'll tell you about the experience of actually going on stage and what I saw for myself, what I saw with everyone else.
Okay.
Because it was bloody terrifying. I do what. I think let's start with the last one, which is there's a video of me doing stand-up, which I'm not going to share because I did. Anyway, but it actually was good. I have a few minutes of good material. There isn't this material I do these days. But what amazed me when watching this video is you can't tell that I'm terrified.
Oh.
Yeah, you look at it and I look confident, funny, and everything's laughing and everything is going great. But I just remember walking onto that stage, I was absolutely terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And all I was telling, I had a mantra to myself, which is just say the words. And I know what to say, just say the words. And I went on stage, and I know because I can remember that my hands were shaking slightly. There's that much adrenaline going on that there's a physiological response to it. But you can't tell from actually watching the video.
Wow. I have so much respect for you because I'm just like, I mean, I go on stage, I do pole, I do trapeze, and that's terrifying. But the idea of having to go out in front of a room full of people and be funny, just, oh, yeah, it's just, which means I would like to do it one day, but it just makes me want to throw up.
Well, the properly terrifying, what makes it so hard is it's jokes you've written yourself. So it's incredibly personal. So it's like if you're doing a performance of someone's show or a thing, and it's a performance of a thing. Whereas often you feel like it's a joke that you've written, you're putting a bit of yourself out there that you're trying to make people laugh that they may or may not do. So it's almost like putting your soul on display. You're saying, judge my inner soul to people, and that's tough. Yeah. But I'm so glad I did it because after that, nothing about being in front of people scares me.
Well, that's really cool. So maybe one of your top takeaways from this then is go learn stand-up comedy and perform in front of a stage full of people, a group full of people.
Though that led me, of course, to that was interesting because I didn't pursue it beyond a couple of things because I realized I didn't care enough. Which I learned how to write jokes and could do it, and I knew I could be on stage to an extent. But I think if you're really going to be good at it, you've got to. It's got to be your life. You've got to care a lot. And I thought I quite like it, but I don't care that much.
Yeah.
But one of the things I wanted to improve was my stage presence. So that's when I learned about improvisational comedy. And that was properly life-changing. Because I went to the course just because I thought I just wanted to be able to relax on stage and do things. But you don't realize it's a whole life training scheme. Because they start, because if you go to an improvisation course, lesson number 1 is yes and. They say you're interacting with someone. You're not ever allowed to say no or contradict them or doing stuff. You've got to take what they said and improve it.
Okay.
And they give an example, which is that I say, imagine 2 people are trying to decide to go to a picnic. And one person, and I'll do both sides here, one say, oh, should we have strawberries? Oh, no, strawberries aren't very nice this time of year. Okay, well, now how about salmon sandwiches? They'd be nice. Oh, no, Julie doesn't like salmon. That's not right. And you go, no, but, and everyone keeps finding reasons why they're wrong.
Yeah.
But then the other one, and you can do variations leading up to the yes and, which is, actually, we have strawberries. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, and we could bring some cream. Maybe for people who don't like strawberries, we could maybe bring some melon or other type of thing. Oh, yeah, and if we do that, then we could, and you build up the idea. It doesn't mean you've got to do all these things. It just
yeah.
And you find that actually, because then that started to frustrate me in business, is that you'd be in a meeting room with the people, and just everyone's default thing always seems to be to find fault.
Yeah.
Someone comes up with an idea, and then everyone will find 100 things of reasons why there might be issues.
Yeah.
And the thing is, anything has 100 or 1,000 reasons you shouldn't do it. What's the idea is let's explore what could be great about this and how it could be better, and then decide if it's worth doing.
I love that idea. I think that's fantastic.
Though another way I find it, only recently found another way of doing the same question in real life is to task, what if? So you don't ever. So anytime someone says, and you've got a variation of yes and is what if, and someone has an idea, you respond with a what if. A variation on their idea. So just that creates creativity. Because you want to explore and create ideas and see other angles and stuff. What if is a good.
Cool. I love that. That was a total segue off. But I just think that's fantastic. So many good ideas from people on how to deal with naysayers, because there are so many of them in the world, especially if you're a business owner. You just can't have people telling you why you can't do something. And just creativity tips. So thank you for that. So all of that said, and all of that done, and you're a very interesting person. What have you been working on recently? Because you've been, I know what you've been working on recently, but talk a little bit about what you've been working on and where you think that might lead you, if anywhere.
I'll just pause for my dog to shut up.
Oh, live podcasting, live interviewing. It's all good.
I know. Go pause. I got to stop the dog chewing the thing he's chewing. No, you can record this. We'll cut out this section. Ask me that question again in a second.
So what have you been working on recently, John? And where do you think it might lead you, if anywhere?
I've done two things recently. There's a kind of ongoing business that actually pays some money, which is I've done clinical guidelines apps for hospitals.
Okay.
For advancing patient safety, I'm very pleased. And that earns me some money.
Good.
And I could market that and earn more money, but I think I might not continue doing that. But what I've been doing is I decided that one of the things I really, really love in tech is actually developing new products. After it's made, I think that's great. Let's make another one. It is actually the process of making, which I'm actually very, very good at, product development, that I really love. And so that led me to see if because I've learned a lot, both through doing it over years, doing it as a startup, and another approach I've been through startup accelerators, and I've done the hours of testing and working and doing things. That actually I love doing that stuff, and I created the johnholcroft.co.uk website and looking to see if I could be a design consultant. Could I help people? Because I think lots of people are non-techies who have ideas but don't have the first clue where to start.
Yeah.
And I would love to help those people. Because I could tell you what's easy, what's hard, what your options are, do the things. And to show you the process, and also include that, which I think will surprise most people, is that if you're doing software well, writing the code comes really late. That actually you can do most of product development in software. It doesn't cost any money at all.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about it if you're interested.
Yeah, you can. I'm wondering if it's a little bit, it sounds like it might be a bit similar to writing, because everybody dives in with copywriting first off, and it's like actually there's so much background work that you need to do first, and then the writing portion of it comes right at the end, and it's actually the little part of the work. The bulk of the work is the preparation. So yeah, go on, tell us.
To yes, and your point. I find this trying to do not the website for that one, but I was doing the accountability service. But doing that site is the best website I've ever made, and also the easiest because of all the work I did beforehand on a piece of paper. Once I actually understood who I was trying to market to and what I wanted to say, or actually not what I wanted to say to them, what they needed to hear. Right? Yeah. Then and it did take me weeks to analyze and do this sort of stuff. When it came to actually building the website, just did it. Plonk, plonk, plonk. Just almost timing the things. You give me some feedback of, the obvious points in hindsight.
It was so good though, because you sent that to me, and I just like, because I opened it, and I'm always impressed with what people send me because people aren't writers and that, blah blah blah. But I opened yours and I was like, holy shit, this is so good. This is one of the best websites I've ever seen. Kind of the first draft, maybe it wasn't your first draft, but the first draft that I've seen of it was just like, whoa, this, you've obviously done all of the stuff that I've told you to do, and that just made me so happy.
So if you're people who are watching, that's the accountabilityservice.com. It's not live yet, so if you went to it, well, you'd see the site, but you wouldn't be able to buy anything. Well, it depends how long this video takes to go out. But that's the thing, you can see that. But yeah, so about software though, it's the same thing, right? Which is that the mistake lots of people took, and what becomes really hard and very expensive writing software, is everyone starts with great intentions. You see a problem, and you have a rough idea for how some piece of technology might fix that. Thing is, I can guarantee you, your first idea is wrong. Yeah? Your problem is right. You have identified a real problem. But what was your first idea? You should probably see as a starting tangent. Just a direction to explore. Yeah. Anyway, you'll find this out when you do it. So I don't tell from experience. I just know everyone's first idea is going to be wrong. All of my first ideas are wrong. But yeah, that's just how it goes. But your real job is exactly the same thing as we were doing for the website and everything else. Is you have to properly get to know and understand who it's for. And normally, because there's a number of actors involved, so like for instance, there's the people who are going to be using it, who aren't necessarily the people who are paying for it, and there's normally not some other gatekeepers. There might be managers who have to approve a thing being used and stuff. So you might have 2 or 3 people who So and you have to talk to them and understand their worldview, how they live, what they care about, what are their constraints are, and all things. And then from that, then you can start exploring ideas, and your ideas actually are, well, for start, you design by what's the Picasso quote, good artists borrow, great artists steal, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
The thing is, if you look at most apps, you notice they all work kind of the same way, and they do that on purpose, because you just go, oh, I need to log in a user. Well, how do all the other apps log in users? Right, that's what we're going to do, and you just go and you see where the examples are of people solving the same kind of problem, and that's inspiration. Then you just draw this all on paper, pencil on paper, very rough, and then you can test that with people. Which this is blind. It took me years to spot this one. I thought you couldn't test software until you built it. The idea that you can test software before you've built it, amazing.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Because I was talking to somebody, yes, I'm trying to think of who I was talking to. I've had so many conversations the last few days. But it was like you can't force people to behave in a certain way. People just behave the way they behave. And I was remembering how park planners plan, or good ones. If you go to badly planned out parks, you'll see like nicely paved paths, and then you'll see muddy tracks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and the good park planners will not pave anything. They'll just put the park in and they'll let people walk, and they'll be like, oh, okay, so that's where people naturally want to walk, and that's where they will pave, because it's pointless trying to force people to change their behaviour. It sounds kind of like that. Is that what you're...
Exactly. So let me give you a concrete example.
Okay.
Project which half came off earlier on today, this year, which I did a project for a hospital where they wanted an improved way for midwives in the neonatal department who are dealing with birth and things. They wanted a better way to escalate that to the issues to the doctors. So the idea being is you want to get, when you need senior support, let's get that more quickly and let them know what they're going into. And the consultant who got me on board, her first idea was this app where the midwives fill in all this information and then click send, and all the doctors go. But I was thinking, but do the midwives currently use any technology, any iPads for stuff or things in their job? Nope. Right. How do they? And that's a little bit, how do they currently work? What's causing these issues? And there's a fun issue. How do they work? So they don't use apps or doing sort of things, and they're constrained by the system, which is that one of the problems the doctors describe is they get a call saying come to room 5. Then they come to room 5 and no idea what went into. So, but how does the midwives, how does it come about? Well, I have to stay with a patient. I can't, and there's no phones in the delivery room, so I have to call another midwife to come in, and I ask her to make a call to get a doctor. Uh, and that's why it ends up being called to room 5. And your app idea is going to involve the midwives entering lots of information that doesn't actually matter to them. And you put lots of doctor terms in here.
Yeah.
This is not midwife language, and the midwives say we don't talk like that. We don't say what's the term? The nurses will say, "Is the baby having trouble breathing?"
Yeah.
They won't talk about it in terms of the respiratory system, which the doctors would talk about, and things like that. So you got to talk to these people and various stuff, and I talked to the head IT people there who told me about her plans for the future and everything she wants to change and make brilliant about their IT. And you go, okay. So whatever I design is going to fit with that plan. Things like that. So it's talking to people and understanding how people are and what they'll do.
There are so many business lessons in there for business owners to just listen to people and watch what they do and how they behave and what they want, rather than trying to decide what they need and what they want and fit people into the boxes. It's just like, just watch people, pay attention.
The lovely one I heard about, if you ever want to read a book on this, a brilliant book's called The Mom Test. I can't remember who it's written by.
I've got that. I have it. I'll do a Bookaholics at some point because I've got it on my shelf.
It's a good book, very good book, and you've got to get exposed to it in a little bit. So we have a meeting afterwards on, I think.
You do.
Yes. But the good things way to do is that it's hard to get the truth out of people about what they want, and it's not because they're actually meaningfully mean. It's actually because they're trying to be nice. But where you get the truth from people is you get them to tell you stories. Get them to tell you stories about how their day is, what makes it hard, and things and stuff, and just get them to tell you. When people tell you stories and tell me the last time you did this, that's when you get the truth. That's when you find out what's really going on. Yeah. It's good skill. It's lovely, and that's what's fascinating. I love doing customer interviews because as a software developer and stuff like that, I've always been on the introverted side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And so I started going and talking to people was sort of apprehensive, but now I've started doing it a few times. I know what I'm doing. I just adore just these views into people's lives and how people's jobs are. It's wonderful. Just tell me stories. I need to listen to your wonderful stories. Yes.
I know, and I'm always baffled by people who won't go and talk to their clients. It's like, honestly, just go. You don't have to do any work. Just hit record on your recording device and just listen to them. Just like set them off and just let them go. Get gold. Okay, so that's really cool, and it sounds like that's one of the things that you're really passionate about is that kind of product development and kind of pulling stories out of people and then using them to push things on, which I think is really cool. So what are your hopes and plans for the future, apart from deciding once and for all what you want to do when you grow up?
I think long and hard about this. I'll do the other thing I probably love, which is skill development. Because I think I'm gonna walk back here. So this interview is going to be too long. You have to cut most of the time. But one of the questions I asked Jen was, how did all this start? And this is relevant. So how did all this start for me is that from sitting beside my daughter at the piano while she was crying.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. Because I had like this well-paid, successful job in the city doing this thing. As there were signs that it wasn't right there, but as in I struggled in a job more than 2 years. I would do a new thing and then have to move. I couldn't stay. Yeah. Once I stopped learning, I stopped having fun.
Entrepreneurial ADD, I call it.
Yes, indeed. I'm never short of ideas. It's focusing on them is the challenge. But yeah, all the various reasons that parents do it. I'll even tell the real reasons. Try to get my daughter to do some piano lessons.
Okay.
And the reason I want to get her to piano lessons is that I noticed that she was a smart cookie at school, but it all been very easy at the beginning. But after a little while, you have to get stuff that's a bit hard and you can't just do. I noticed that she had a tendency at that point to give up and think she was rubbish. And I thought, oh, that's not how you need to live in life. You know, you can't just give up when it gets hard. You got to work when it gets hard. And thought, well, what can you fundamentally not be good at and have to work at? Well, that's playing a musical instrument. No one can just go up and play Chopin. You got to practice. And so did the music lesson. I went there, and it started fantastically. It all comes with if you've ever learned a musical instrument, it begins with these little books, and they have like one bar of music and stuff. So it's all quite straightforward. You go away, you do this little bit, and you come back and you get the rewards. You've learned this new thing, and you move on and move on. And so that in first year is always amazing. Then the music teacher has this great idea of, all right, let's move to the full page of music. Let's go for an exam. Right? And that's when you go from learning little bits of music every week and getting a reward to let's spend months and months trying to do one thing. And let's spend every week just getting from being slightly less worse at this.
Yeah. Right? It's just like, let's suck the joy out of it.
Yes, too. Well, we all know this will go, but I wasn't there at the time. And so I was trying to be very supportive of my daughter. And then one day I just said, yeah, let's go to the piano and let's do some piano practice. And she came to the piano and she sat at the piano and I sat near her. And after 5 minutes or whatever, and she'd like pressed 2 keys, she'd not actually done anything. And then that's when she was starting to cry. And I said, oh, it's also be like, what's wrong? What can we do to make this fun? And she says, oh, Dad, we can't make this fun. It's piano practice.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Which is a massive fail on my behalf. Just in the which is I tried to do a thing for her for the right reasons, but I'd actually done the exact opposite. I'd broken her and caused her to hate the instrument. That wasn't staying with me. That was going to go away in a hurry. So I started to research what goes on in this stuff, right? How people learn. Well, how do people learn music? Now, then moved on to how do people learn all skills. Turns out they're all interrelated. They're all, be it tennis or piano or drawing, they're all, or even writing or anything, they're all the same thing. And also, particularly music, what got me is that everyone knew the problems and had even written out what the answers were. They just weren't doing them because it wasn't possible without technological help. The idea being is that, and I thought, I've thought for years, like, I'd like to do my own app, but I've not got any idea. I don't know what an important thing for the world I can do is. Then I thought, I know what it is now. All this theory, I've been to the conferences, I've heard people talk. I think that it is all the science is there on what the problem is and how to fix it. No one can make the solution. I'm able to make that solution and I'm going to do it. And that was me coming up with this Yohondo thing, this music learning app.
Okay.
So yes, I loved doing that, but I was a terrible marketer.
Most people are.
Well, it's one of the things too, which that when you work in corporate land, you think you're bigger than you are. You don't. I was annoyed. I was annoyed being in the corporate world that they wanted me to be this little cog. They only wanted me to bring this very small part of myself and specialize that one thing, and that annoyed me. And I thought, I'm a bigger person. I can do more things. I don't want to just do that one little thing you want me to do.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you set business your own, and you go, oh my God, there's so many things that I know nothing about. I thought I was going to write an app. I realized that the writing the app, this teeny weeny bit. Running a business is like this big. Don't know how to do that. 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 And that's scary. Exciting too when you learn these things.
It is.
I would tell you pay someone else to do it. Well, yeah, eventually.
Yeah, but at first you haven't got the money, and you have to learn to do at least a little bit of it yourself. But is that what brought you to the superheroes then?
No, I came to the superheroes slowly. Um, well, I knew the only reason I know you exist, to tell you the truth, is because we did the cartooning course together.
We did.
And did the thing, and therefore that got me onto your mail list to get your misses. Which then got me onto the Bookaholics, which was really, really good for me. And then I was doing the 12-week year thing, and that was all going very well. Apart from that, we weren't doing the WAMs, we weren't doing the weekly accountability meetings. And I believe the superheroes did those. So I thought, right, I'm going to sign up so I can do accountability meetings. I joined the superheroes, and there are no accountability meetings.
No, we have a monthly Q&A, but that's not the same thing.
And so I said to you, can we have accountability meetings? And now we have accountability meetings.
Yeah, and they're great.
Anyway, so all of the side is that I have learned loads and loads, tons on how people learn skills and how you coach and do things, which I now translate lots of other bits in my life. I am a scout leader, and only last year I learned, I got the permits to take people to the highest mountains, or kids to the highest mountains in England and Wales. And all sort of stuff, which you get your mountain leader qualification, and the training in that was fascinating. And also the instructor in that said, "We think you'll make a good instructor. Could you please come back in all our following things and help out training the next leaders?" And I think too, I've seen how the doctors learn in hospitals, and I think that's right. Like there's textbooks, and textbooks are fantastic at containing accurate information, but at the same time are brilliant at being absolutely useless. Because that's not actually how people learn. When you actually see people really learn, it's through doing, and they can learn, and it's through people being set the best bits. I'll give you doctors, because most people haven't seen this. In most hospitals, there will be a simulation lab. So this will be a room which looks like with a bed and all that stuff, but there's a glass wall, and there's people behind pressing buttons and doing things, operating what all the gauges say, and it can be a microphone and stuff. And there's a room outside, and there's a team of doctors and nurses. Actually, they do this as teams.
Yeah.
And they have to go in, and there's three of them will be going in, and they'll say, right, just go in and deal with this situation. And there's a pattern to it, which is fascinating. The first doctor will go in, and it'll be a shambles. They'll say, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Smith. I'm Doctor So-and-so, and I'm here I do things." But then they just start doing random things, right? They'll just look at this thing, they'll do that thing. In the end, they'll get to what's going on with this patient and what the right treatments and do the right thing. But it'll be a shambles. And they come out, they do a debrief and say what went wrong and here's what we should have done. Next person goes in, right, and they're pretty awesome, right, because just people do it first. Then the third person goes in and they just absolutely ace it, right? And then you repeat this, and they do number of things, and that's actually what I did on my Martin Leader training. It was, we had to do very serious exercises, and it was 3 of us did it. One person was a shambles, third person was thing, and it's this you do through people learn through. You have to do a real thing in small bits and learn from the mistakes.
Yeah,
and you can learn from other people's mistakes too, which is wondrous. Yes. It is a lot easier to learn when you see what someone else did wrong and then what they should have done, and then when you apply it straight away, then you get it right.
This is exactly why I want people to watch other people's critiques as well, because it's like, this is why I put them out, kind of not publicly for like everybody, but for the whole group. It's like, go watch all of them, because you will learn loads of stuff from, and you've just articulated that really well. People learn from every mistake, theirs and everybody else's.
Cool. They can't. I have a solution for that. So I looked at your critiques last night. I thought, no one's ever going to look at all these, but I'll tell you later why and what we can do to fix it.
Yes. Okay. That's perfect. Okay. Cool. Okay. You know what? There's loads more questions I want to ask you, but we're going to do another interview at some point because we are running out of time now. This has been really cool. It's been so interesting. Thank you very much, John. Can't wait to put this out because there's so many little nuggets of gold for people to pluck out for their own business in here. And I'm going to put it out as a podcast in its own right as well, because it's great. But in the meantime, where can people find out more about you? I know, right?
I'm not a good marketer. I'm really hard to find.
Come on, John. You must have something.
Sorry. LinkedIn is the, I'll tell you my little joke, which is I don't do crack cocaine, crystal meth, or social media. except LinkedIn.
Cool.
So join me there. I know social media should be great, but I couldn't cope.
Okay. Well, I will pop your LinkedIn URL in underneath this video and in the show notes for the podcast so that people can go find you on there. You are John Holcroft, which is spelt like it sounds. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Sorry, top present, and I'm gonna give you an intro.
Hi. Oh, okay.
Hi, my name's John Holcroft, and I'm a bit of a shambles.
Love it. I'm leaving that in at the end as well, just because it makes me laugh. Cool. Thank you very much, John. Right, guys, I will be back same time next week, probably with Joe next time. And in the meantime, if you want to sign up to my daily emails, go to vickyfraser.com. And if you want to join the superheroes, you can go to vickyfraser.com/join superheroes, I believe. But that link will be in the show notes as well. Thanks very much. I will be back next week.